Hi, my name is Doug from Unique Three-Phase, and I'm doing a video today, and it's kind of an odd one because I'm going to do I guess we would call it a product testimonial or a product review. And to give you a little background, this is an air compressor. It's a 10-horse three-phase air compressor, and I have been selling for the last 10 years information on the internet on how to build a transformer converter, rotary converters, and three-phase converters. And basically I specialize mostly in the transformer converter. So here's one that I built for myself for my air compressor. And as you can see, the box next to it here houses a lot of the converter stuff. And also around the back here, there's the transformer that makes it a transformer converter. There's no idler motor. It's not a rotary converter. Well, this past summer, a guy came along and he was telling me about Amsoil. So I decided that I would put Amsoil in my air compressor and test it out. I said, hey, let's try it. So I put it in there, and I didn't, it worked great. It seemed fine. Didn't really notice a difference until this winter hit. And generally speaking, I've had air compressors my whole life. And air compressors are a thing that you don't want to have in the shop. So you stick them outside, usually in a shed or behind a building or something. And what happens is when winter comes, whammo, you turn the breaker on and the thing just blows the breaker because the oil's thick in the compressor and it won't start. So with this setup, I told the guy when the winter came, I told him, geez, it starts right up, really great. And he said, hey, you should make a product video about it, make a testimonial. So I said, yeah, and what makes it really good is because I have these meters on the front of this converter. So the top meter there, that tells you the volts going in and the amperage that the whole entire machine is using from the single phase supply. And then the other 3 meters measure the amps and the volts on each leg. So that way, you're really getting an idea. If this thing is drawing a lot of amps, it'll show it up on those meters. Now a 10-horse motor running on single phase is going to draw about you're supposed to draw 40 to 45 amps. And the motor is rated at 28.5 amps per leg. So starting this up stone cold like this, we can tell, okay, how much drag is there on the motor? How much is the oil affecting the motor? So we come over here and we look, and it's about 34 degrees in the building here. And if I use my infrared thing, which I got from Harbor Freight, and that doesn't work a lot very well. It's 36.5 for that. And they're about 36.5 for the motor. So as you can see, it hasn't been turned on today. So now we're going to start it, and I'll focus in on these meters, and you're going to see how many amps does it take, and what kind of amp draw is there when you're cold starting something like this. So I got a 60 amp circuit breaker on the side here, and I'll get focused in on these meters and throw the breaker. Oh, there's about, let's see now, I might have to drain some air out because I think there's about 150 pounds in there. So let me bring the air down a little. Notice it even won't go on. Yeah, all right. So let's turn it on and see, and this will be a good testimony for Amsoil oil. Now you can see 47 amps, that's high. But it starts and runs fine. I can balance it out with these capacitors I have to. As you can see now, the amps come down. That was a total cold start. Absolutely 36 degrees on this compressor. In a normal situation, all those years I've had stuff, you would have just blown the circuit breaker. It's only a 60 amp circuit breaker going into this thing. Okay, there you have it. See now, that thing started, it drew 47 amps when it got running for the very first minute there or two. That was at about 100 and, well, it comes on at 150 pounds and shuts off at 175. So it was around 150 pounds of air in the tank. Started right up, 47 amps to run it. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a 60 amp breaker on the side here. And normally, all the air compressors I've ever had, it would just blow the breaker. There was no way that thing would start. The air compressor, it just wouldn't do it at this temperature. So that I feel the Amsoil is very good as to what they promised or what they told me in the advertisement. And of course, I will put a disclaimer in here, is if I ran this thing all the time like this, I wouldn't be starting it at 34 and 36 degrees because I would put a heater on there or something or put some heat in here. Just to, I don't think it's good for the things to be starting that cold, although you start your car up at those temperatures. So to prevent wear on it, I would actually heat it or put a heater around it. But there you go. See, now when this thing is off, it doesn't use any power because it's turned off. You know, it doesn't only uses power when it's on. You know, it's not like a rotary converter that is sucking up the juice when it's off. This thing, the transformer converter, when it's off, it's off. When it's on, it's on. Well, there you have it. That's my product testimonial for Amsoil and my 10-horse air compressor.